It started with a step followed by a trot. We learned to gallop. Then it got mechanical. At first it was to survive. It was all about the destination, but that changed when the journey started to get fun. I'm Julian Taylor, and these are my friends, Sam and Jen. If it has a motor, we will ride it, drive it, or fly it, and compete to win. It's not always about where you go, it's how you get there. It's not where you go, it's how you get there. Hey, Jen!
Hey, Julian, where are we at? We're in the middle of the desert.
We are in the middle of the desert. How beautiful is this place? It's rainy season as well, so flowers everywhere. We're actually at Caterpillar. We're at the Tenaya Hills Demonstration and Learning Center. It is absolutely huge. You got any idea whatsoever what I've got us organized into?
I have no idea, but you said what we're doing, but where's the other we in we're? Where's Sam? Where's he at?
He's not there, is he?
No,
I've
where
got
is
a
he?
clue where he is. It must be down to his fantastic partners in the airlines again. He's not here.
So we've lost Sam, our good friend.
We do need him, though.
Yeah, we
Because
need him.
what we're doing is really original and unique. You know that all the time we drive on roads.
Yeah.
Motorcycles, cars, you name it, we've taken everything on them. This time, it's the other way around. We are going to build our own road. All three of us build our own road here at CAT with the huge machines. You're going to be using GPS and grade control technology, state-of-the-art stuff. Now, I, on the other hand, am going to be operating the machine myself, like I did when I was a kid on the farm, and building my own road as well.
Okay, yeah. That makes sense. You think you've got it all figured out. You can build a road. I don't want to drive anywhere.
Of course I've got it figured out. Of course I've got it figured out. How hard can it be to build a road?
You'll need Sam. He's going to have to help you, I'm sure.
I am going to need to use Sam as well, yep.
Yeah, we got to wait for our friend. Sam likes,
I've got Lonnie organized. Nope, Lonnie's here, all organized. He's going to take us out there. He's going to get us going. Sam's late. That's his hard. I'm not waiting.
You're not waiting?
No.
Well,
Let's go. Meet Lonnie.
I guess when you think about it, he probably wouldn't wait for us
There's
either.
no chance. He'd want to play with these things as well. Come on, let's go meet Lonnie.
All right, sign me up. Julian, he's ready to go. He's hot to trot. He wants to take on the challenge, go into the safety course, wants to basically start without Sam. And you know, initially I thought, well, Sam's our friend. We gotta stick up for our friend and wait for him. But come to think of it, Sam would leave me in the desert dust. So let's get this competition started.
Oh, look at this. I am getting straight onto this.
What do you mean you're getting straight onto it? Why are you already on this thing? Oh,
Hey, you must be Julian. So I come around the corner expecting some visitors, and I find Julian already playing on a tractor, violating safety rules. Not a good start.
So we got to find Lonnie to do our safety discussion, and I run into this really cool 1920 or so tractor. Jump on it, have a little bit of a play, and then I get caught. So I have my first safety violation on a 1920s tractor, yeah.
At Caterpillar, safety is paramount. We talked about 3 points of contact on the machine, so 2 hands and a foot or 2 feet and 1 hand at a minimum. We also talked about the seatbelt. It is important to always fasten your seatbelt as soon as you get into the machine. We know on the job site there's a lot of activity. When running a machine, you always want to be on the lookout for those objects and people surrounding you. That's why machines have so many mirrors and cameras today, so we're able to see true visibility to the site, making sure nobody gets injured.
Caterpillar is serious about their safety, and Julian knows it. So he's got to be safe if he wants to drive the shiny toys and build the Julian Highway.
So Sam has arrived.
Oh, he's here, is he?
Yes, he is.
Great,
He finally showed up. I know
Finally.
you're probably surprised. So I did give him the safety brief to kind of get him up to speed with where you guys already are.
Okay.
So he's getting his vest, his other personal protective equipment, and he'll join us shortly. But in the meantime, let me go over the plan set here as to what we're going to try to build out here.
Right.
So the engineer has developed the design for this roadway.
That's the Julian Ditchway. Highway.
Julian Highway, please.
Yes, we'll see.
So the challenge today for Julian, Jen, and Sam is to build a road. One team will be building it using traditional methods of construction, while the other team will be building a road using technology. And I'm going to be the judge as to who won the construction of the road.
So it's me versus technology, piece of cake, easy. Traditional route, that's how they built roads for thousands of years, no problem.
So Julian, you're going to need a lot of tools. to practice the traditional ways of building a road. Let's go through a few of them so you have an understanding of what you'll be needing.
All right.
Tape measure,
Yep.
yes, in metric, just like you begged us in metric. So this is what you'll need to pull the distances off those hubs. Now, these two items, they go hand in hand. This is your stick rule, pretty cool, you'll be wowed by it. This is what you use with your eye level. You'll be bringing all that information off those paddles out here to the dirt so the operators know exactly where to cut, where to fill, how this road's all gonna come together.
All right, cool.
Totally dependent off of this information.
All right, so you get this central line, piece of cake, edge of pavement, so the edge of my road, edge of shoulder, edge of the shoulder, and bottom of the ditch. And the bottom of the ditch is what I've got to actually cut first, 4 meters and 37
I get it,
centimeters,
I get it,
and
but
I'm going to build my road.
I don't need to know all of this. I've got the technology. It's already inputted, so it's gonna do all the work for me. You're the one that needs the paddle.
The traditional route, you're just going to sit there with your feet up and do nothing. The machine's going to do it all for you.
No, I'll do some of the heavy lifting, like the driving, the operating portion of it, but I don't have to do the math. You're the one that needs
I
the
got to go and
tools.
do it really. I got to do it right. And the funny thing is, when Sam gets here, I'm going to get him putting some stakes in. Use the hammer, get some stakes, he can start using his muscles.
Speaking of Sam, here he comes now.
What's up, guys?
Hey, finally
glad you can
made
make it.
Better late than never. So what I gather coming here right now is that I missed out on a lot of the pre-competition work. Sounds like there's two teams, Julian and Jen, and now I end up being Julian's lackey. That's not a good place to be. Am I gonna be holding this and you're gonna be swinging this, swinging this?
No, you're putting these in, mate. I'm going to be starting to get
Oh, we
ready
safer.
with where the actual ditch is going to be. This is bottom of ditch.
So you're gonna be telling me
4
what to do.
meters and 37
Like I work for you.
centimeters. In effect, yes.
What is that, your wood iPad?
Yeah, this is called a paddle. And this is what we actually manually need to measure out our road. That's why you got a stake, and that's why you got a hammer.
understand that we're in, like, 2021 now. You don't use
No, this is how they do
wood
it.
and
No,
measuring
honestly,
tapes?
it's the way to make roads. Look, central line. Yeah,
You don't even know what those initials are.
I do.
You, what?
So BOD is build our ditch.
Build a ditch.
Build our ditch.
By the time we're done, I know who's gonna be going in the bottom of that ditch.
Sam might rebel a wee bit, want to be on Team Jen because of the technology, but he's not allowed to be. He's got to be on my team, and he's got to put stakes out. Manual labor all the way. That's what I'm telling him to do. We're going to build the Julian Highway.
Today's stakes are high, serious bragging rights, and I'm confident going into this challenge that the Barlow Boulevard is gonna beat out the Julian Highway, or Ditchway. Let's be real here.
Okay, so here we are in front of your dozer. This is lock-up clutch dozer. This is what you're gonna be using to start your project. So you're gonna use this fine machine here to start cutting your foreslope and your back slope, establishing drainage and generating that material for your fill.
So how do I operate this thing then?
Well, first we're gonna have to give you some training. So
Okay.
give your new grade checking toys
There you go.
to Sam so you can use 3 points of contact to safely get up in the cab for your training episode.
How I ended up your
Fantastic.
lackey, I got no idea.
So the traditional method has been used for decades in the construction industry and still used today. While it takes a little bit longer and takes a lot more operator skill to be able to achieve those grades and carry the grades, it is still very doable.
Realistically, there's no chance. Julian has no chance. My Barlow Boulevard definitely gonna be better, faster.
You definitely have a leg up on him. There's no doubt about it. With the technology, you definitely have an advantage before you ever start. So what we have here, Jen, is the D6XC. You have the GPS grade control. So you have the design file built right into this machine. You will know where line is, you will know what grade you need to get to, and when you get close, within a tenth or two, you just flip that switch to automatics. It'll latch right on the grade. You won't see any construction layout on her job site except for one simple point, and that's called the control point. From there, she's ready to go to work. We'll have Jared go over the basic operating skills for you, but remember those 3 points of contact as you go up to the cab to get that training session.
Absolutely. I was paying attention, unlike Julian, so I'm gonna make my way up.
My prediction, as it stands right now, Jen is gonna complete her road. Now, on the other side of the coin, we got Sam and Julian over there, still bickering, and I think they're gonna fall short from completing their road on time.
Hey, you ready? Hello? We're gonna do this or
Put
what?
the stakes in.
Huh?
Go and put your stakes in.
I don't know what 10 meters is.
10 meters, you got a bloody tape measure.
Unfortunately, the situation, he is my boss, I guess is the way to say it. I'm his lackey, I'm his schlep, I'm his do-boy, whatever you want to call me. I'm gonna sit back, I'm gonna do what he says.
You need a hand, you can't do it right yourself. It's 10 meters in between all the posts.
Well, it looks like I got it. This is gonna go nowhere most likely. I feel like, you know, the name of the show is It's How You Get There. We're never gonna get there based on the way we're going so far.
You gotta put the nail further in as well.
I am.
And the stake. And remember, this is the Julian Highway, not the Sam Highway.
The Julian Highway
Yes,
to hell.
I need to get this
How did I
panel.
end up on your
If we
team?
have
I
to
like
keep
technology.
walking back and forwards every 5 minutes because you leave
Caterpillar,
stuff.
it's all about
gonna take us
technology.
ages to get this damn thing done.
I think this is defective.
Oh man, my ears are bleeding. Sam's whinging and moaning because I gave him a manual job to do. All he has to use is a metric tape measure, measure 10 meters, put a pin in, but he just keeps moaning. Can't get the tape measure to even roll out properly. It's all tangled and in a real mess. He's useless at manual labor.
How did that even happen?
You weren't doing
Can I just walk it with my feet?
No.
If I walk that one to
cannot.
that one with my feet and I count the same.
No, you cannot do that.
And I'll go
It's gotta
around the
be
truck.
exactly right, otherwise we're not gonna get a dodgy road.
Dodgy road.
So I have the most state-of-the-art, you know, future forward dozer. This is the Caterpillar that you'd want to be in. This is the dozer that's going to get me the most power, the most efficiency, and really help the Barlow Boulevard get up and running in the least amount of time. I don't have to be out there with the measuring tape, hearing Julian's gibberish as he's spouting off things as a make-believe foreman. So frankly, I really have the one-up in this situation. My dozer is a dream.
The traditional roadway has been completely staked out through the construction layout from the engineer. So that's where Sam and Julian begin their process of taking off the information from the paddles, so then they know exactly where to cut the ditch.
So the first step was to create your BOD. So you got to work out how deep it is, how far away from the side of the actual road it is, and then you got to go and dig it. The hardest bit was actually seeing how deep you are, because I've got no electronics. I'm doing it the traditional way, so when I drop the actual blade and move forward, I don't know how deep the blade is. So I had to keep looking over the top of the blade, and all of a sudden I find I'm digging half a swimming pool.
When I got into that dozer, after he was done, it was a disaster. It was whoop-de-doos up and down, all the way back. And I'm trying to learn how to control this thing, which I caught on pretty quick. But as you're going on smooth ground and you set your blade at the right level, you can continue going on smooth ground. But in this case, I set it, and then I go into a dip, and then I got to raise it, come back out of the dip. In and out, in and out, in and out, fixing all his mistakes. So now I've got a lot of work ahead of me. It's gonna go well into the night. I can turn the lights on, I can keep on working throughout the night. So I'm gonna do the best that I can to fix his mistakes and get us back into the game.
So Lonnie's doing his inspection, and I can get the impression from him that he's looking at Jen as maybe the winner of this round.
As we're inspecting this ditch flow line, let's make sure first our alignment is correct per our plans. Make sure it's located in the right spot. So now we'll check our grade, and it looks like we are within 5 millimeters. This is absolutely perfectly spot on right here. It's like the technology did its job perfectly. So in just a short time of training on how to run the D6XE, Jen was up to speed, making exceptional progress to get her ditch cut for ultimate drainage and produce the material she was needing to start her fill on the roadway. Ditches have been cut here on Sam and Julian's road.
I don't know, the traditional road builders did a cracking job on this one. That's the great thing about the traditional method. If you have good operators, you can build a beautiful road.
Very good. The ditches passed inspection here on Julian and Sam's traditional roadway. Now that the ditches are cut, the material is ready to be used as embankment or fill. The motor graders will be used to spread that fill material. On Sam and Julian's road, they have the motor grader, steering wheel, and lever machine with no technology. Now over on the Barlow Boulevard, where Jen is working, she has the Cat 150 motor grader with the integrated 3D grade control. So her task will be much easier. She will know exactly where the material needs to go and at what elevation to put her first lift on, getting it done much more efficiently, more productively, in the fewest number of passes and burning the least amount of fuel.
All right, Lonnie, next up is the motor grader, right?
Yes, so great job cutting those ditches with that Cat D6XE dozer. Now you get to run the latest and greatest Cat 150 motor grader, okay? Significant advantages for you, and I'm very confident that you'll be able to go out there and spread that material, get it all ready for the next step, which will be our compaction.
Perfect. I'm gonna make it smooth like butter, so let's do it.
Sounds good. Let's give you a little operator training, and don't forget safety first,
Of
those
course.
3 points of contact.
Of course, all righty. I didn't know what to expect getting into the grader, but getting in there and being able to operate it For me, I felt a little bit more at ease because I had had the experience in the cab of the Dozer, and I got a little bit used to that technology. And then as that parlayed into the grader, everything really started to finally come together in my head. You would equate it to like spreading jam on your toast or your bagel. You want it nice and even. Once you put all of those steps together and it starts to make sense in your brain, then you're just cruising down your road and it's smoothing out, no problem.
So this is my next baby to play with then.
You got it. You get to operate this sweet-looking 140 cat motor grader. So again, you're on this traditional side of things. So as Jen's out there making hay while the sun's shining, running her technology, you're over here still looking for training. So let's get you going, bud. This is manual. So you're gonna have to rely on your good old friend Sam. He's gonna have to continue to bring you out that grade information so you know what you need to do with that material.
So my thoughts when I first got into the machine is, wow, there is levers absolutely everywhere. But once I started to realize what everything did, it's a lot easier to see what you're doing in the grader than it is the Dozer.
I started measuring things out for Julian while he was going, trying to make sure he knew what he had to do, but I spelled it out for him on the ground, and the signs, boom, boom, 3. That means 3 decimeters down. Very simple. He was looking at me like, what are you doing?
So I saw Sam giving me hand signals. I got a clue what he was saying. He didn't tell me anything to start with what he was gonna do.
What are you laughing about? What are you happy about?
That's good. That's good.
That's good. It looks like a track at Laguna Seca. So once again, Julian went first and jumped in the 140, went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. He fixed it a little bit, but then I jumped in there and really had to take over where he left off. But at least if you look at it, you see the potential that it has. And I really focused on that machine every time I turned it around, set the pitch 2%, and went back and forth. I think we're pretty close.
At this point, we're getting near the end. Sam and Julian's road is taking shape. They're probably in that 4 to 5 hours behind.
The road isn't bad. It's just a little behind pace as compared to my latest, greatest state-of-the-art technology. First was the Dozer, then the grader, and now we're next to this beast. What are we looking at, Lonnie?
So this is the Cat 825K tamping foot soil compactor with cat compaction control. And so this is gonna need those particles together to make sure we have the quality, integrity, and smoothness of that road.
I would like to say that I looked very comfortable in the compactor with the big undulating wheels. I don't know what those things were called, but they are scary looking. I mean, this thing feels like you're moving on a cloud of thunder. It is strong, it's powerful. And I was like, you know what? Let's go bigger if you got it.
So when Sam was finishing up with the grader, I was a little bit on the concerned side because I think he was doing a motocross track. But then we brought some other equipment in, and then it started to turn into a decent-looking flat top.
Jen's project, as well as Julian and Sam's project on the traditional side, were both short material. So Jen used the 637K scraper with grade control technology on it to import the second layer of fill onto her road. That big scraper brings a lot of payload with it. It is one of the fastest ways to move the most amount of material in the shortest amount of time. So are you ready to run the 637K and put that 515 horsepower to work?
Put me in, coach. I'm ready to do it.
All right, let's go.
So getting into the scraper for the first time, I mean, this thing is massive. Usually the apprenticeships and the programs, they can take years to master. So the fact is, I got in there and in a few minutes was able to finish up my road properly. I can absolutely see why the technology equipment is popular.
So I've inspected Jen's road, and at this point, this contest between Jen and her Barlow Boulevard and Julian and his highway is essentially over. She is so excited to take a victory lap down the road that she has just finished.
The only challenge I have left is to pick what my victory vehicle is. I mean, I got all sorts of cool equipment here at Caterpillar, but frankly, I may have something else up my sleeve.
As soon as I pulled up in the big beast, I look out and there's Jen in a Denali. I have to admit, when I saw this really black, shiny car coming down this very impressive road, I was a little bit envious.
So, how's the unfinished road, my friends?
Ours is a wee bit of a mess.
Do we have a quality road there?
You have a good start to a quality road, but Jen has the quality road that is a finished product.
Did you hear that, Julian? Sam, keyword is finished quality road. It's nice and smooth, it's beautiful, got picturesque views. Just let me know when you're ready to drive on it.
Jen's pretty proud of a very smooth roadway that her travelers will be very impressed with. She's even thinking about turning into a tollway.
So, Lonnie, I want to thank you immensely for all of your wonderful hospitality. It's been a fantastic experience, and I have to say, we've driven loads of vehicles, absolutely everything you can imagine. But operating huge, major construction equipment is fantastic. That's the only way I can describe it.
I mean, we drive a lot of toys, but out here we've gone through dozers and graders and scrapers, compactors. I mean, the technology inside, it's efficient, and it helped me take the win over you
here we
guys.
go again.
Traditional is good, but I mean, that technology.
Also, what I have to say is I have got so much respect for all the men and women that build roads.
And you know what? To get an exclusive invitation, it's just amazing. The facility's amazing. The instructors were a pleasure to work with. I mean, this was a pleasure to be here.
Now, Lonnie, we want you to help us with the close.
Hey, I'm gonna change it up on you.
All right, so it's not always about the destination.
It's all about the road.
It's how you get there.
Traditionally here at the Tanaha Hills Demonstration and Learning Center, we host numerous customers and dealers, and it was a true pleasure to host Sam, Julian, and Jen.